don't go through any of that, right? Don't want to wind up losing it for another field trip, so maybe go check that now. And we'll be getting started very shortly. So we have a special guest with us today. We have many, of course. We have Representative Kilcoyne, who's your state representative, and she's come out today to make a couple remarks and then lead us in the pledge. Then afterwards, Mr. Ngano will go, and we'll have the different people who are on the stage as part of this just introduce themselves, give us their name and which department they're representing, and from there we will start off with the town meeting. As you can see over here anyways, this is where the other microphone is, so if you would like to come up and speak, you just come over here, okay? All right, thank you very much.
All right, welcome to the 2023 8th grade town meeting, and we thank you for coming, and welcome Clinton Middle School students. We're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance from our state representative, Megan Kilcoyne. So please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated. So hello, 8th grade class, and I'm so excited to be here with you for your annual town meeting. My name is Meg Kilcoyne. I'm state representative for the town of Clinton. That is included in the 12th Worcester District, so I also represent about 5 other communities right around here. And I'm so excited to be here with you all today. I got to be here last year, and it's honestly, I think, one of the highlights of my spring and summer, because to see the work that all of you put in today to have this warrant before the town, to see the passion and dedication that you all have to decide on what changes and what direction you want to see your community going is truly inspiring and honestly a lot of fun. You guys are all in the 8th grade right now, but by taking on this project and by being here today, you're getting an early lesson in how to make a true difference in your community. You know, I'm a state representative, so I work at the state government. So my job is to hopefully best represent the views of the people that I represent in this community, which is about 45,000, give or take a few, and make sure that I'm representing their interests on Beacon Hill. So we vote on a state budget, we vote on various laws throughout a 2-year session, but the biggest impact that you can have on the place that you live is in your local and town government. The work that I do is only informed because of the work that goes into those that live in this community to dictate what it is that you want your town to be. And just looking at the warrant that you guys created, it's clear that many of you are sincerely passionate about making sure that there's recreational areas for our residents to enjoy, that we're spending money in a way that reflects what it is you want to see the town be. And one day, hopefully, you'll be sitting in this town, as I was last night, in those seats where you were right now, voting on some substantial issues, on how you want to see your money spent, on what changes that you want to see be made. And honestly, as you go up into different levels of government, what you see is that it all is informed on what you do locally. Everything that you're going to decide on this article is similar to what we decide on at the state level, but it's on a broader basis. And that goes the same for federal and all the way up to the President of the United States. So enjoy today, have a lot of fun, and just know that we're all happy to be here with you and proud of you for the work that you put into it. And I know that sitting in that audience right before me, there's a few leaders that I know are going to make a difference, whether it's in this town or in this country or state. So happy to be with you all, have some fun with this, and excited to get this going. And to that, I'm going to turn it over to our moderator, Mr. Terry Ogano.
Thank you very much. So we have a lot of people here today who have taken time to be with you because they know how important this process is. So we'll begin to the right, and they're going to introduce themselves as to who they are and what department they are representing.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie, and I'm representing Parks and Rec.
Hi, Lisa Profit, Department of Public Works.
Becky Schoolcraft, I work in the town clerk's office. Matthew Kobus, I'm the chair of the select board.
Julie Perouse, I'm a member of the Select Board.
Barney Hastings, Finance Committee.
Good morning, Tom Nelson, Lieutenant at the Clinton Police Department.
Hello, Brian Coyne, Chief of Police, Clinton Police Department.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go right into our articles. So Article 1, you have a warrant in front of you. By the way, I was remiss that in our audience we have another select person I see in the back row, Mary Rose Dickow. Thank you for coming. And Michael Ward, our town administrator at the back door. Thank you again for all the work you've done. Article 1, do we have someone that reads it?
Sorry. So if you could start off by reading it like you would at the town meeting, someone up there, or Mr. Kobus would, right? And then, someone else can second it, and then I have 2 students that will come up and give a speech explaining their warrant.
Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow or transfer from available funds the sum of $7,340,000 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Parks and Recreation Department to purchase the plot of land at 27 Coin Street and build and manage a municipal-owned sports complex or act in any manner relating thereto.
Julie, you want to be the official second?
Oh, second.
All right, Article 1 has been moved and seconded. Any questions, comments, or discussion on Article 1?
So at this point, we're going to have our 2 students come up and give their speech explaining this, and we'll go from there. So can our 2 students, representatives from Period 1, please come on up?
Good morning, citizens of Clinton. Currently, there are not a lot of entertainment options for the youth in Clinton, and we want to change that. To rectify this, we are requesting $7,300,000 for the Department of Parks and Recreation to purchase the 5-acre lot found at 27 Coin Street and build and administrate an athletics complex for the people of Clinton and surrounding communities. The plot of land currently located at 27 Coin Street is for sale for $500,000. Our warrant would cover the cost of purchase this land with plenty of money left over for building the complex. The land would be cleared as well as paved over. 1 acre would be used as a parking lot and the rest would be utilized to hold the complex itself. This complex would consist of many different facilities and pieces of equipment to allow members to play a variation of sports, games, and activities. This facility will have one 1.5-acre turf field, which would be used for both soccer and football. There will also be 2 basketball courts. There will also be a weight room and an area with 2 golf simulators. In addition, there will be a concession stand, bathrooms, showers, locker rooms, as well as water fountains. Currently, kids in town have very few opportunities to play sports in winter. Sports are important for children because they help promote healthy activities.
According to the Halifax Health Hospital, sports can help children by reducing anxiety, stress, depression, and rates of suicidal behavior. St. John's Gym used to be accessible to the children in the community, but is no longer affordable to rent. Our complex, wait, where is that? Okay, thank you. Our complex would provide the community with affordable membership plans, so that more kids will have a safe place to hang out and play sports. Although it may sound like we're asking for a lot of money, it will be a good investment of our community and surrounding communities. This facility will make money by selling membership passes with a discounted rate for people who live in Clinton. The facility will be able to be rented out for special events such as birthday parties. The Parks and Recreation Department will be able to run sports-themed summer camps, which are already popular and would become more popular if they had better facilities. Furthermore, this will create more job opportunities for teens and young adults. Currently, there are a few other athletic complexes like this which are popular among kids in town. Four Kicks is one of them and is in Marlborough, and another is Teamworks, which is located in Northborough. These businesses are very successful and make lots of money where they are located in. If we hold tournaments at this facility, we would be bringing people from other towns and cities who will be spending their money at Clinton.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our proposal.
We hope that you will consider voting in favor of our warrant article.
Thank you. All right, now, questions, comments, or discussion, and that includes from you people, of course, or anyone up here who would like to weigh in on this.
The stage is welcome to give their opinions on this, or if there's a student who'd like to make a comment, right, get your credit for the day, go ahead and raise your hand. You can go on up. Is that Adam? Adam, go ahead.
No, right there. I forgot what I'm supposed to say first. Adam, 59 Chase Street. I personally think that this would be a great idea because sports is a very important thing to keeping the community healthy and allowing us to grow stronger as physical people.
Questions, comments? It's a lot of money, so let's think about that too.
Kaylee Russo, Beacon Street. I think that this would be a very great idea because like Four Kicks and Teamworks, they make tons of money, and I know it's like a lot of money to like ask for, but I think we will invest back in with the money that we spent. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone on the stage want to weigh in on this? Be ready.
I'll go after him. He can go first.
Okay, go ahead. You.
Go ahead, Vinny.
You, sir.
Okay. $7 million. It may seem like we're asking for a lot, but there is $68 million we have to spend on this town. And for the kids of Clinton and this entire community, it'd be so much better to make an entire complex that's not only building our community and making it stronger, it is physically helping us and mentally making us stronger. So I think it would be a very great investment. And again, $7 million compared to the 68 that we have to spend, I feel like it's kind of good. It's a good investment.
Thank you.
I definitely see a need for a rec center, and I'm all for getting more rec space. My only concern is the location and that it's in a residential area. Does anybody have a reason for that, or?
Does anyone have any concerns about building it in an area that's kind of in a neighborhood? That's where that area is located. You want to, let me see, Ed Milson, go ahead. I think it's Ed Milson.
I want to hear what he has to say.
The reason is so it's more accessible to the residents that live there.
That's true.
I should know my zoning laws better. But I'm not sure if a business can be put in that location. That's a problem that I don't mean to heap coals on this, but that might be an issue if it's a small neighborhood homes? Does that neighborhood want to entertain many people coming up that road, going to that? That could be a problem going down the road anyway.
That's true. Anyone have an opinion they'd like to share, whether they think it should go there, or the costs, concerns? I know you've got out twice, Vinny. I'm seeing if anyone else wants their credit.
Go ahead.
Do you think there's a way that we could switch the location from where we already have it right now?
I mean, my humble opinion is something like this is needed in town. We know that. Even basketball courts. We don't have enough basketball courts in this town. We don't have enough gym space for all the teams that are formed, whether it's youth teams, school teams, whatever. I know that for a fact. I don't know about another location. Why, may I ask you a question, or the group a question, why Coin Street? Just because that land was for sale? Is that?
Mostly because it was for sale, but it's a really big space, and I think just having a big space like that, it would be beneficial to make something there, make something useful that the residents of Clinton could have.
I think that's what Parks and Rec was saying about it'd be better in a way if it were more centrally located in a business type of district, which would mean that there wouldn't be a problem with zoning or anything like that. But that was the chief reason why you selected Coin Street.
So thank you for your comments, Vinny. Yes, it was a 6-acre plot of land that was for sale for $500,000. That's why they picked that. As they were trying to go and find places that were currently for sale in town. Anyone else like to share their opinions, whether or not they think this money is worth it, if they have any concerns, or if they think... Yep, go ahead.
Yep.
Giovanna Rosa, High Street. I also agree with Parks and Rec having it being like a very awkward area. So I think I agree with that.
Thank you. Mr. Hastings from the Finance Committee.
Yeah, I think that's a great article. I'd just like to add, a few years ago on Friday nights and Saturday nights, there'd be 100, 200 kids up at St. John's Gym using that facility. I think that St. John's Gym might be available to purchase. I don't think the kids should have to go to Marlboro or Westboro. I think you should have something here in Clinton. I don't think there's enough basketball courts or activities, and I think St. John's Gym, right here, central, located, could be for sale. So I just, again, I think that might be an option also.
And they could give facilities.
Thank you. What do you think of that idea? We're kind of kicking that around, that St. John's Gym, if it could be purchased and renovated, would probably serve the same purpose as a brand new facility on not in the center of town. I don't know what you want to, if anybody has anything to say about
Mr.
that.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
So I think this is a great idea. One reason people move to communities is because of the parks, and I think that the town of Clinton, through the efforts of Parks and Recreation, we really have some fabulous parks right now. This would put us into a very unique situation where there's not many other municipalities that would have a resource such as this. As far as the location, I do see that 172 Sterling Street is something that was brought up in one of the Warren articles for a potential location for a drive-in theater. And I think they're up there's about 7.5 to 8 acres of land, and it could become possibly a multi-use property where maybe this would fit that neighborhood, which is commercially zoned as well. It might be a better option to consider.
What we could do, would anyone like to make an amendment maybe to take out the location and have it be more vague? That would be a way to do it. Go ahead, Vinny. Vinny, make sure you leave some credit for everyone else, okay?
I personally believe that we should move the location to the Reisner's company. It has been, it's a really big lot of land, and it has been out of service for I think like 2 years now, and it's sitting there, and I feel like to have it be sitting there and to not use it wouldn't, like, it's not helping anything. It's not contributing to our town. I feel like we should clean it up, use it, and that is where we could put our location.
All right, do you think, do you want to amend this to say that, or would you rather leave it open for, in other words, basically, what you want to do is purchase land, period. Purchase land to build a municipally owned sports complex.
I would like to propose an amendment to move the location to Reisner's.
Okay, you want to make it specific to Reisner's, okay? So, the amendment would now say, instead of a plot of land at 27 Coin Street, it would say whatever the official address is of Reisner's, which was
1 Reisner Way.
1 Reisner Way. Thank you very much.
Would anyone like to second that? Just raise your hand and say second.
Second. All right. So why don't we vote
Vinny, you can take a seat.
now? Any other questions on the amendment? Why don't we vote now on the amendment? And what we're doing is we're not voting for Article 1. We're voting for the amendment to Article 1.
Make sure you hold your pink ticket. That's what you hold up.
So what we're doing is we're crossing off the 27 Coin Street and now saying 1 Reisner Way. All those in favor of the amendment, which would move this complex from Coin Street to Reisner Way, signify by raising your card now, please. Yikes. And thank you. And those opposed, raise your card now.
If you're against it, raise your card.
I believe the amendment has passed. So now we go back to Article 1. We're still talking about Article 1. We've moved the location, but we haven't voted for the article. Any more discussion from up here on the stage or from down front?
Any other comments on this before we go and vote on it? Anyone, whether you think this should happen or shouldn't happen? Spending $7 million for a sports complex.
Yes, Lisa.
I have some thoughts. I think you should make another amendment to this and take the address completely out. So all of the businesses that you had mentioned before are private businesses that make a profit. If you're going to have a municipally run complex, that's a whole different issue. And perhaps you would be willing to sacrifice some of the land at the school and just build an extension onto either the middle or the high school that occupies one of the fields there. And you don't have to pay $500,000 for the land. The Reisner property is in a flood zone and could have some issues with it, and it's a private business that you would have to acquire and probably do some land management there. However, if you made an amendment, you could think about the location and just strip the location out of this article and then possibly proceed with something different, such as adding it to the school so that you don't have to make your way to Coin Street or make your way down to Elm Street, but it'd be easier if it was part of the school system, if it's going to remain municipally run. Thank you.
Liz has something she'd like to say, and then if it's an amendment, then we'll go from there, but if not, we'll move this to a vote so we can keep this moving along.
Liz Morataya, Lakeside Ave. You have previously mentioned before that we could extend some of the land that connects the high school and middle school, but this facility would be used specifically like during the winter, and we already have a bunch of fields in front of the high school, but those can only be used during the spring, the fall, the summer. But in the winter we have nowhere to play soccer, and a lot of kids in this community do play soccer and football, but they have no place to do that indoors. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa, is that an official amendment? No. Okay. All right, that was a suggestion by Lisa originally, not an amendment per se. So we're still at Reisner Way, Elm Street, or whatever. And
I have a student who's coming up to make a comment or an amendment. We have a student who's going to make an amendment.
Okay. We love amendments.
Haley Russo, Beacon Street. I would like to propose an amendment just to strip off the address and just say that we would like a piece of land to build a sports complex. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there a second to that amendment?
Second.
Second. All right, now we're talking again about this amendment.
Based on timing, we're just going to vote on it.
You just want to vote on it?
Oh, yeah, it's 9:30. We're in Article 1
I
and
almost
9.
did that last night. That was a mistake.
Time flies and you're having fun.
That's the good thing about 8th grade town meetings, let me tell you. All right, so now before you is the vote. Here you go, get your cards ready.
Your card.
We're now saying no address.
No address at all.
All right, so Article 1 is everything you've said here.
$7 million for
You
parks.
simply cut out the address completely. And it would be where commercially it could be zoned, where maybe it's an existing structure, it could be fixed up, who knows what, but that would be determined later. All right? So all those in favor of Article 1, without the specific address, please raise your cards now. And those opposed? Thank you. The Article 1 has been approved. Thank you.
Congratulations, period 1.
Oh, this one's you.
All right, Article 2.
Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from any available funds the sum of $866,000 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Department of Public Works and Police Department for road resurfacing, infrastructure improvements, and increasing staff as listed below in parts A through F, or act in any manner relating thereto. A, to repair and maintain current sidewalks and add additional sidewalks to streets currently lacking them. B, to add 5 raised crosswalks, 2 on Main Street and 3 on High Street. C, to fill in potholes throughout the town. D, to build approximately 13 miles of bike lanes on the roads that are most traveled. E, to build a total of 6 speed bumps, 2 near the elementary school, 2 near the middle high school, and 2 on High Street. F, to hire 4 additional patrol officers to specifically enforce traffic violations.
Second.
All right, Article 2.
So our
There's
two-
a lot to it.
Our 2 students who are going to go and speak about that, can you please head on up?
Hi, my name is Michelle Myrtle.
My name's Ava Matthew.
We are here to discuss our class's proposed warrant article to the township. We are trying to improve the infrastructure in Clinton as well as the safety of the public. Our warrant is asking for less than $1 million to save the lives of citizens. One topic of the concern that we are addressing is the lack of sidewalks in town. The Department of Transportation has reported that every year over 4,500 pedestrians are killed by motor vehicles, and that 8% of those were accidents in which there were no sidewalks to be used. If more sidewalks were available, this would decrease the number of casualties caused by motor vehicle accidents. There are also economic benefits of having sidewalks. AARP has reported that having a sidewalk outside of a house can increase property values up to $34,000, which will give families more equity and increase town revenue. Most people think of sidewalks as just more safety, but they can also improve the health of citizens as well as AARP has also reported that people who live near sidewalks are 47% more likely to be active for at least 39 minutes a day. Our warrant will also pay for 5 additional raised crosswalks in areas that are heavily used by people. These crosswalks would be built on High Street, Main Street, because people are likely to speed in those areas. And caused outside of Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, which is dangerous for both drivers and pedestrians. According to the SPOD Law Group, 67% of cases where a pedestrian is hit is by a car was because the pedestrian was not using a crosswalk. Adding sidewalks would make a safer environment for everyone.
One of the biggest complaints we have heard about Clinton is the amount of potholes. Potholes can pop tires, bend, or even crack wheels. They are responsible for many accidents, and filling them could prevent them from happening. The asphalt production company, Sealmaster, estimates that it only costs $30 to $50 to fill a pothole. Since the cost is so low, it should be easy to get them filled. Many towns and cities have bike lanes, but Clinton does not. Biking is popular in town, and adding biking lanes would make it safer, especially around the schools. Biking is a healthier and cheaper way for people to travel, and it is better for the environment than driving. Since the town of Clinton is expanding the rail trail, this would make it more accessible to bikers. Our warrant will pay for 13 miles of bike lanes, which will cover about a quarter of the town. Speed bumps are a great way to deter speeding, and currently there are none on main roads. Our warrant is proposing to add 6 of them in total. 2 would be on High Street, 2 in front of the elementary school, and 2 in front of the middle and high school. Studies show that speed bumps, on average, decrease traveling speeds by 10 miles per hour. Our plan would help structure the safety of students walking to and from school. Lastly, our warrant would pay for additional 4 police officers whose job it will be to focus on enforcing speeding and traffic violations. Without police officers, speeding laws would not be enforced. We hope that by hiring these officers, the speeding and traffic violations will decrease in our community. In conclusion, adding these additional safety measures and infrastructure will increase the safety of our citizens across the town. Thank you for your time and support.
I have a feeling that some people up here want to say a few things about that article. So why don't we start with Chief Coyne, especially F, obviously deals directly with his department. Chief Coyne.
Brian Coyne, Chief of Police. Yeah, I'm in 100% favor of this article. I think the town has already begun a lot of this. The DPW and the Board of Selectmen have done great work with a lot of the sidewalk improvements and some of the addition and update to the sidewalks around town. Really working hard on walkability, where we want access for people to be able to walk, where the police department has been working the last several months in the fall about making sure that sidewalks are clear of parked motor vehicles and other things. We're really concentrating on that and making sure that this is a community where people can walk safely, where they can use the sidewalks that are there, that have been updated, that have been added, and the existing ones that aren't always in the best of shape and do need some money for improvements and updates, and maybe some additions in certain areas. And I'm also in favor of more crosswalks, better crosswalks, more well-lit. The signs are great. I'd also like to make an amendment after I speak to this. In traffic enforcement, our officers are always concentrating on that. And if the town wants to give me 4 new police officers, that would be great too. we could definitely concentrate more on some of our efforts that we're already doing in these areas to make sure that people are safe, out walking their dogs, out walking with strollers, jogging, and just using the sidewalks to get to the store, to get to places, and be where you need to be. I'd like to make an amendment looking forward, and maybe we can merge things. We did go off on Article 1 for a while. Maybe if we take Article 7, if I could make an amendment to merge Article 7 with Article 2. It talks about the same thing, and it's raising the sum of $13,750 or other sum for creation of environmentally friendly improvements to infrastructure by building sidewalks out of recycled plastic and adding solar-powered push-button crosswalks on Mechanic Street. I think the 2 articles go together, and I'd really support that that $13,750 be added to the already 866,000, and that when we do make some of these improvements, that we look at the environmental impact of the materials being used in the sidewalks, and also the solar-powered lighting or solar-powered signage that says that walk and do not walk. And to speak to that, the Board of Selectmen and DPW have recently purchased some speed signs in town too that are solar-powered and keep data so that the police department knows where the areas are that people are speeding, so we can get that data. It doesn't read anybody's license plate. That's the first thing people ask. Oh, does it take a picture of my car going by? No, but it gives us data that we can use to say that this is the time of day that people are speeding, and that this is the problems that we are having in town. So we are looking into some of this stuff already, but we can definitely expand upon it and do even better in town and make sure that people are safe. So
you want to do an amendment, but I have to ask the teacher first. Mr. Murray, is that possible to do that, or do you have a group that is strictly going to talk about it?
We have a group that's strictly focused on doing that, so we'll leave.
I just speak.
Oh, it absolutely makes sense though if it was.
Yes. I'm just like to say that I'm in favor of Article 2, and I hope that it passes as it's written.
May I ask, are you fully staffed? This says the 4 additional.
Yeah, we are, and that's I was kind of joking. That's a lot of officers, and that's a lot of money for the town. I don't know where it comes in with the 866,000, but we could definitely, if the town were to look that way, to dedicate officers strictly to traffic enforcement, we do that as part of our duties, but that's something that we could look at. I don't want to start changing numbers or how that would impact the 866,000.
Thank you for that.
Are there any students that would like to share their opinions on whether or not about this? All right, in the back, is that Yasmin? Yeah, go ahead.
Yasmin Caetano, Beacon Street. I think this is like a really good idea because there have been a lot of times where I was walking home and like a lot of cars were speeding by the school. So yeah, I think the speed bumps would be like really good too, principally that part. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone like to speak?
I know I, for one, need speed bumps. I fly around town too much. Speed bumps will help me tremendously.
Yeah. You're someone who, maybe regularly bikes around town. You could talk about whether you like bike lanes or not. Jackson, Go ahead.
Jack Sivert, 14 Highland. So I regularly ride my bike around town, and to have these in place, I feel like it would make me feel more safe because people constantly speed. So yeah.
Gigi, do you want to speak? Yep, go ahead, Gigi.
More comments?
Yeah, we have a student coming up.
Gianna Winters, 24 Terrence Ave. I personally think that it can be really dangerous on the sidewalks with your bike, especially if they're bumpy and down hills, because if there are people and you're going down a hill and you can't stop yourself, you might bump into them. Or if there's a sharp turn and you can't see them, you might bump into them.
Thank you.
I think that's why this warrant does want to go and add some dedicated bike lanes to specifically kind of address that, so people wouldn't hopefully be taking their bikes on sidewalks, right? Adam, you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
I personally think that would be very important, especially to repair the sidewalks, since on the walk here, the sidewalks looked terrible. Broken, shattered, lopsided, etc.
Thank you very much for using descriptive adjectives.
We're going to hear about those potholes right now. Lisa.
All right, my phone number is 978-365-4110 for any of you that wish to contact the DPW regarding potholes or road issues or a sidewalk, you are always welcome to call and complain or make a request of any sort. So thank you for this article. Chief Coyne did address it quite well. Just to say, the town has been pretty aggressive at trying to install new sidewalks, which we've done on High Street, Oak Street, Berlin Street, High Street, Water Street, Greeley Street, and soon to be on the new Sterling Street. So we've tried to make areas in the downtown more walkable. I do have some concerns about raised crosswalks and bike lanes. We do have a bike lane on High Street from, say, the post office all the way down to Allen Street by Dairy Queen, and there is a bike lane on Water Street. So if you're looking at the side of the road, there's a little painted bike. Problem is with those is that you're not supposed to park in them. So as we add bike lanes, we reduce parking. And that becomes another issue for people who don't have driveways or a lot of places to park. They park on the street, and then as you're biking, you have to go around it. And so you're not supposed to park in the bike lane, but people do, which makes it tricky if we're going to actually put in a real bike lane and enforce it. As for the crosswalks, I'm in support of that. We do have the solar crosswalk at Nipro over to the Mexican restaurant, and we can certainly add those in places where it makes sense on Mechanic. I would say that in terms of adding patrol officers, that's certainly helpful, but public education and better education and citations for within our existing staff, I think we can do a better job of slowing people down. And I would support this article for the most part. I would just be careful about the raised sidewalks, or excuse me, the raised crosswalks. When you have people in low cars or things like that, it does create problems, and we don't want to have claims because people are bottoming out or it's creating noise for the neighbors as trucks and trailer trucks are bumping up and bumping down. So we just need to be careful about where we put those in respect to the neighbors. So thanks very much for the article.
Thank you.
We'll need to vote on this shortly, but is there anyone who'd like to make any final comments about the sidewalks in town or anything? Yep, Sierra, go right ahead. Thank you.
The Sierra Stutzman Lawrence Street. I think this article is a really good idea because it's a very affordable price, and I think fixing the potholes would benefit people like our parents driving every day. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, it's time to vote. So you're looking at Article 2. There have been no formal amendments on this, so it's as written right here in your warrant. So all those in favor of Article 2, take that card and raise it high, please.
Pass it, hold it up.
Thank you, thank you. Cards down, and opposed. Cards up. We have some, but there's no doubt Article 2 is carried and approved.
Article 2 is passed. Congratulations to Period 2.
Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from any available funds the sum of $10,000 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Department of Parks and Recreation and/or Facilities and Grounds for the purchase and installation of a water fountain at Central Park, or act in any manner relating thereto.
Second. Sorry. Failing at my job.
All right. At this point, I'll invite the student to come up and explain the warrant on behalf of their class.
Article
Right ahead.
Good morning. My name is Aloha D'Souza.
My name is Pietro Braga.
Thank you for taking your time out of your day to hear our ideas. Respected members of the community, we are here today to propose a warrant article to see if the town will vote to give us $10,000 to install a public water fountain station in Central Park. The hope is that one of the old drinking fountains or bubbler areas could be used to install an updated water bottle filtration or drinking fountain. Currently, there are no drinking fountains located in Central Park. There used to be some. In our hope that the town will allow this warrant to pass so that water fountains will be capable to fill up water bottles can be installed. We are asking for $10,000. We believe this will cover the cost of installation. The benefit of having water bottle stations in Central Park will be great. Already, Central Park is one of the most used parks in our town. Many people use the park for exercises, and including a water bottle station will be a great addition for these people.
People not only use the park for exercise, but also for family activities that the town provides. Including a water bottle fountain may decrease the amount of trash that is left behind after family activities, such as the daddy-daughter dance and the old home day. Water bottle stations are proven to show a reduction in the use of single-use plastic bottles. Currently, if you walk around our school, the amount of water used at our water bottle stations adds up to tens of thousands of plastic bottles not used. It is also our hope to show that these drinking fountains will be used by the community, not only at Central Park, but potentially at all parks and fields throughout Clinton. If you can start at Central Park and demonstrate the need, hopefully more places like Savage Field, Veterans Athletic Complex, Fuller Field, the Asher Street Field, and the youth soccer fields could be added in the future, as these areas also have the issues with trash after games in the events. Thank you for listening to our proposal now, and we hope that the town takes our proposal into serious consideration.
Questions or comments on Article 3? It's a well-written article. It's a good article.
Anyone have a question or comment? Anything you'd like to say about the idea of adding a water fountain to Central Park right out here? Water. Yep, go ahead.
In this case, like, more water would be included to be used for, to cook, to dispose, to use for drinking and all that. And it can be sufficient for the dam all the way over there. That's all. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments on Article 3?
Yep. I believe the idea behind this is the one where you can use it to fill a water bottle too, right? Like at the schools that we have? Okay. Anyone have a comment about adding one of those in a public space?
Something after the kids' thing.
I have someone up here from Parks and Rec.
Sure.
Director?
Does he want to talk, or is he just filling his water? I'm all for this. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I hope that eventually it can get implemented to our other facilities as well, and it'll help reduce waste and implement more water drinking at the park, and it's a great warrant article.
Wow, that's pretty good, huh?
Parks and Rec is a big fan of it. Nice work, period 3.
Awesome.
Anyone like to go and explain their opinions if you're someone who regularly goes to the park, for example? Rocco.
So I think this is a good idea because there's a lot of events that are held in the Central Park. During the fall, there's bands that play in the park run by Parks and Rec. And then there's the Christmas tree lighting and stuff. But that's during the winter when the water probably might not be on. But during the summer, if people need drinks instead of going to Apple Country where it's overpriced, they can get a drink from the bubbler.
Thank you very much. Yep, go ahead, Al, go ahead.
Alvaro Di Santiago, Green Street. It's good to stay hydrated.
Does he get credit for that? Now, the park is such a beautiful spot. It's the best spot in town. There's so many things happening up there or whatever. And also, I believe they're getting 2 concrete...
Chessboards.
chess or checkerboards up in the park so that people could sit there, and embedded into the bench would be checkerboard or chessboard. Another little something will be added to our park, I think, this summer.
Yes.
Yes.
We're in Moncrief Winter Street. Personally, I think this is a wonderful idea, and when I exercise, I usually empty my water bottle in just a few swigs. So having a place to easily refill it would be very beneficial.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kojo Rocha. I think it's a great idea because if you compare the prices, it's only 10K, so.
Unless there are, we have a couple moments.
Some more comments.
We'll have one, after this student, we'll have one more make a comment, and then we can vote on it.
I understand that some people have health problems like I do, that sometimes during the day I have to stop, drink some water, and take my medicine. So it's very important that sometimes I'm at a park and I don't have water with me. If I didn't bring any water, I could drink it from a fountain or borrow a friend's water bottle and fill it up. Thank you.
Very good, good point. We have somebody else. One more comment to be made on Article 3. Here you go. Here, right here.
Alan Jakonski, Berlin Street. Currently, your physical activities at the park are limited by your amount of water. This would allow you to continue on for as long as you want.
Thank you.
All right, this time, why don't we put it to a vote, Mr. Ingano?
Sure. All right, it's time to vote.
So have your card ready to go.
Article 3. All those in favor of Article 3, please, cards up.
This is the vote,
Thank you
yes.
very much. And opposed, cards up. The article has passed and is approved.
Congratulations, it passed. All right, move on to warrant 4 now, so please listen up.
Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from available funds the sum of $493,000 or any other sum for the design, purchase, and installation of the changes listed below in parts A through C. Said sums to be expended by the Facilities and Grounds Department or act in any manner relating thereto. A, for the purchase and installation of the following at Savage Field: scoreboards for the softball field, roofing for the dugouts at the softball field, backstop netting at the softball field, and lighting at the basketball court. B, for the purchase and installation of the following at Fuller Field: above-ground dugouts at the Big Diamond, additional bleachers, and new or renovated bathrooms. C, for the purchase and installation of the following at the Clinton Middle School field: fencing for the baseball field, 2 scoreboards, and roofs to the dugouts for both the softball and baseball diamonds.
Second.
All right, Article 4 has been moved and seconded. Our student speakers.
All right, our student speakers for period 4.
Good morning. The warrant we are proposing would make improvements to the athletic field in Clinton. Specifically, Savage Field, Fuller Field, and the CMS fields. These improvements are going to make the fields better, and it would be relatively inexpensive. At only $493,000. These improvements will not only benefit the children of Clinton, but the adults as well, and surrounding communities. One of the most popular fields in town is Savage Field, but there are several problems with it that can be easily fixed. Currently, the softball field is not getting as much attention as the baseball field, which is unfair to the softball programs. There are many programs and leagues that use that field, and the state of the field should reflect that. One change we want to make is adding a scoreboard. This would help the players and audience keep track of the game. We also would like to add roofing to the dugouts. Roofing over dugouts is important because it helps keeps players protected from weather conditions. Currently, the baseball field has them, but the softball field does not. Recently, some students witnessed foul balls hit at softball fields, and they hit cars parked on Vale Street. This could have been prevented if there was a backstop netting, like there currently is at the baseball field, and our warrant has funding for adding one. Another issue is the lighting at the baseball courts, which needs to be added. We think that if these lights are added, people will use the courts during both the day and night.
Fuller Field is the oldest baseball field in continuous use in the world. Since it is such a historic site, we want it to look good for out-of-town visitors. The dugouts currently are little more than concrete slabs with a bench on them. A field as important as Fuller should have proper enclosed dugouts at the Big Diamond, considering they are already at the Little Diamond. At the moment, there are only a few small rows of bleachers for the audience to sit at. Our warrant would pay for 10 rows of bleachers, which would allow for 100 visitors to sit comfortably. Lastly, there is currently not a place for visitors to use the bathroom other than porta potties. There is currently a building for it, but it is not in use. Our warrant would pay to either renovate or build a new bathroom facility. The CMS fields are used every day by students, school teams, and families. Since it is used so often, it should have the proper setup. One item that is missing is temporary fencing. The type of fencing is currently used at the high school softball field to set boundaries. They are inexpensive and can be easily set up and taken down. It would be very easy to add them to CMS softball and baseball fields. There are currently no scoreboards at the CMS field, and our warrant would add those. It would also add roofs to all the dugouts. Making these changes would make our fields better for both citizens of Clinton and visiting communities. Please take our ideas into consideration when deciding how you will vote. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Kobus, are you still on the commission for Fuller Field, or you know Fuller Field very well anyways, right?
I am not on the commission for Fuller Field anymore. But
I figured you'd have some opinions on this.
I do have a couple things that I want to add. These are all great ideas, and we actually are in the process right now. We ordered a scoreboard for Savage softball field, so that should be installed by the fall. We actually included the lighting for the basketball court that was approved last year with the updated softball lighting. So that's another great idea that we actually have, we managed to resolve. And then the second one are the dugouts. So last fall we had poured the concrete pads that you see down there with the idea that we're gonna hopefully have roofed dugouts. And then we did the same thing at Fuller Field, so the slabs have been poured. Now it's going to be, the next step is going to be building the roofing. So everything that you've identified, we also identified as being a need, and we're moving forward with. So that's a great job.
Great. So
thank you, Matt.
I'm sure
also,
we have some.
Last night, they approved $40,000 for Fuller Field to renovate the concession stand and the bathrooms. And that was approved last night at town meeting. So that part hopefully will be resolved soon.
It's still pretty cool that the kids came up with the same idea that the
Absolutely.
actual town came up with to try to correct. So I'm sure we have lots of athletes here. So do we have anyone who's, plays a sport that would like to go share their opinions about that? Here, Owen, yep, go ahead because you haven't gone up yet.
I agree with the scoreboard part because a lot of time the audience is wondering what the score name is. Thank you.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah, it's a great point. Amelia, go ahead.
More comments on this?
We've got a couple. A lot of student athletes.
Good.
Amelia Mahan, 21 Colonial Drive. I think this is a good idea because it would benefit kids and adults and people from other towns coming to play on our fields.
Great point. She has been spoken in. You're next, Giovanna, okay? Giovanna, actually, if you want to get up, you're allowed to just stand up and wait next if you want to.
I have a concern.
You can get a little closer to the microphone. All of you, when you come up, and we want you to come up, get a little bit closer to that microphone because some of us can't hear completely.
Eliana Vasquez, Ash Street. I have concern for the fencing for the baseball field because then it's getting in the way of the gravel softball field.
Okay. So there are 3 fields over at the middle school. There's a closer softball field, there's a baseball field in the further, and kind of in the middle off to the left is a gravel field. And so she was concerned that maybe the fencing, if they add it for around the baseball field, that it would interfere with the gravel field. So does anyone have an opinion on that?
More comments about
or
that?
another comment or opinion? Oh, Giovanna, if you want to go, share your comment.
Giovanna Rosa, High Street. I also very much agree with the scoreboard at the softball field because I think Miss Morin can agree that we very much nag her the whole game about the score. And I don't think that we should add more bleachers or like additional bleachers at the Big Diamond because there's already like 2 sets of bleachers and I don't think that there's like already like a lot of people going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to try to maybe get up and make an amendment? Because they actually, because part of this says to go and do new bathrooms, but they already voted to go and do that last night. So would anyone like to come up and make an amendment to change that? That'd be a really easy way to get some credit. We got a hand, we got a hand, we got a hand. Cam. And if you need help with the phrasing, you know, Mr. Ngano, I'm sure is happy to help you.
Cam Roulard, Arthur Street. I'd like to make an amendment to take out the bathrooms and just take that out of the article fully.
So it's in section B. It's the last couple of words of section B.
Yep. So section B, we would delete and new or renovated bathrooms. Now, what Mr. Kovas was saying was some of the other things that have been done. So why don't we correct those 2 before we do that? So if someone wants to further amend the rest of that, am I right, Mr. Kovas, that some of these things...
I believe, was it dugouts were also being added at Fuller? Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Is there someone else who'd like to make an amendment to remove the section about dugouts? Again, very easy to do. You do exactly what Cam just did, except say that out. Go ahead, Amelia.
Amelia Miles, High Street. I would like to amend to take that part out of the warrant. Thank you.
All right, and we're going to then, so on A, I think you mean A, scoreboards for the softball field would be deleted, correct? Am I right, Mr. Murray?
I think was that one of the things, Mr. Kovas?
Correct.
Yep, okay. And then the dugouts is what you were also referring to, right? The dugouts at Fuller, because I think you said those were being added. So those 2 parts.
Oh, the ground dugouts at the Big Diamond?
Yes.
Okay, that's another one then. That's under B in the middle, ground dugouts at the Big Diamond. And also, Mr. Kovas said they've done something with the lighting at the basketball court at Savage Field. So that would also be deleted.
Okay. So we have taken out, just so I think everyone's on the same page, we just took the amendment that we're talking about is taking out, adding a scoreboard at Savage, taking out the part about adding dugouts to Fuller, at Fuller, taking out the part about renovating the bathrooms at Fuller, and taking out the part about going in additional lighting as well at Savage, because those are being done by the town at the moment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been seconded.
Seconded. Do we need to vote on the amendment? Correct. Okay. All right, we're voting now on the amendment. We're simply correcting these things because the 8th grade at the Clinton Middle School and the community were on the same wavelength as far as things that need to be done and need to be improved, which is great for what you're thinking about what's going on in town.
So we're voting on taking out those parts.
So those parts would be deleted. So all those in favor of the amendment to delete some of those things, please raise your
card if you're in favor of taking those out. Okay.
Thank you. And those opposed? Thank you. The amendment has passed. Now it's time to vote for the actual article, correct?
That is correct, at which
All right.
points then, when we're done with that, we'll take a 15-minute recess, give the kids a chance to stretch, and then we can
wonderful.
resume after that.
Thank you. All right, Article 4, we're now voting to what we're going to do with Article 4. Now with the amended article, those things have been corrected because some of those things are done or in the works of being done. So all those in favor of the new Article 4 signify by raising your cards now, please.
You want to pass Article 4, now that we've changed
All those,
it.
thank you. Cards down, and those opposed to Article 4. We have some, but not enough. So Article 4 has been approved.
Congratulations, my fourth period class. So, Mr. Ngano, just to have a little bit of fun anyways, if you've heard these kids in the cafeteria, you know they're very loud, so I'm going to have a little fun if you don't mind, because this room echoes. We're going to have them do a voice vote to have a 15-minute recess.
Oh, okay.
This is where you get to yell yay or nay. Yeah, I know. Rocco's ready for it. All right, ready? So, Mr. Ngano, I make a motion to take a 15-minute recess.
All right. Second.
So we'll do a voice vote to have fun. All those in favor, say yeah. All those opposed, say nay. And if you want to keep talking.
I think the nays have it. Thank you. We will take a
15-minute recess. All right?
hear any better after that? Like,
Yes, much better.
Really?
Yep.
Could be so Russell. So funny, last night the way these microphones were weightlifting, it really does look silly. There's big boom on one end and it's hard to
I know. Even some last night, I was sitting in the back and I still had a hard time hearing like John Wood small talk. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Oh, I know.
All right. We are going to begin again. So, we're starting off shortly with Article 5. If your cell phone, if you turn it back on and everything else, I recommend that you now go and turn it back off, put it away, so that we don't run into a situation of not having our cell phones for the other field trips. Thank you. All right. So if you want, Mr. Kobus? We'll go over Article 5 now. Article 5, I think you guys will find this particularly interesting.
Just wait for the second.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We got filled up here. That's a fun idea.
I am ready.
All right, Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow or transfer from available funds the sum of $3,281,300 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Department of Parks and Recreation and the Department of Community and Economic Development for the purposes listed below in parts A and B, or act in any manner relating thereto. A, the town shall spend no more than $2,300,000 to cap the lot at 172 Sterling Street and to remove the hazardous waste described in the 2021 Site Assessment Data Report completed by NSAFE in compliance with Mass General Law and Environmental Protection Agency regulations. B, the town shall spend no more than $981,500 for the purpose of establishing a municipal-owned and run drive-in movie theater. The money shall be used for landscaping, purchasing all the equipment needed to project movies, transmit sound, build booths, purchase food, pay for movie rights, and hire staff.
Second.
All right, Article 5 has been moved and seconded.
All right, my two speakers for my Period 5 class.
Hello, my name is Maddie Dempsey.
And my name is Noah Gates. Today we would like to explain the benefits of the warrant we are proposing. First, our warrant would clean and cap the Superfund site at 172 Sterling Street. We would then renovate the site and convert it into a municipal-owned and run drive-in movie theater. In order to cap the Superfund site, it would cost approximately $2.3 million based on the estimate provided to us by Phil Duffy, Director of the Department of Community and Economic Development. Clintonians may not be aware of the dangers of the substances currently at the site. These dangers include lead, arsenic, zinc, and fuel oil, according to the NSAFE site assessment from 2021. Lead can cause high blood pressure, brain damage, kidney, and reproductive health issues. According to New York City's health department, arsenic is extremely dangerous and can cause skin cancer and skin lesions. It can cause children to suffer from development delays and is linked to early death in young adults, according to the World Organization. Exposure to zinc can cause stomach cramps, vomiting, and other health issues. When it is absorbed by the soil, it can prevent many plants from growing. The National Institute of Health reports that zinc can lower one's immune system and worse. Lastly, fuel oil has been detected, which can cause kidney damage, liver damage, nervous system damage, increased blood pressure, and more, according to Wisconsin's Department of Health Services. The process of cleaning and capping the site is time-consuming, costly, and complex, but it will be worth it in the end.
The next part of our warrant is to convert the newly capped site into a municipal-owned and operated drive-in movie theater. This process would cost a little less than $1 million, but the town would make this money back over time and potentially turn a profit. We have calculated the cost for purchasing all the needed equipment, which includes a projector screen, projector, FM transmitter, a snack shack, ticket booth, hiring employees, and more. Currently, the nearest drive-in is almost an hour away, meaning that we would not be competing with any other surrounding drive-ins. This will attract people from other towns, which will support local small businesses. Clinton is a relatively unknown community to many in Massachusetts, but adding a drive-in will boost its popularity. Recently, the town lost one of its most historical and iconic landmarks, the Strand Movie Theater. It was open to the public from 1924 until 2021 to the disappointment of many Clinton citizens. To fill the void left by the closing of the Strand, we can create a new staple of the town through our drive-in. This would become the most accessible movie theater to the Clintonians. While this may appear to be a very expensive project, this is an investment that will boost our town's economy in the end. The drive-in theater will bring in additional customers that would have otherwise gone somewhere else. In order to get to the theater, people would have to drive through other parts of Clinton, increasing publicity for other small businesses. A popular night out is a traditional dinner and a movie. People might go to Z's, TC Lando's, Brothers, or the Clinton Bar and Grill to enjoy food before settling down in the comfort of their own cars to enjoy a movie. In conclusion, our proposal will make Clinton a safer community by cleaning up the Superfund site and will provide a safe and entertaining value for the people of Clinton and surrounding areas. It will improve the local economy and provide jobs for teenagers and young adults. We hope you will pass our proposal for the betterment of the town. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Questions, comments, or discussion?
Mr. Duffy has arrived, who's our Director of the Community and Economic Development site, department, and he is also in charge of doing that assessment that was looking at that land. You guys know where that land is that we're talking about, the land by TC Lando's, Brownfield? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Members on the stage and students. First of all, I want to congratulate you two young people who presented this warrant article. Your research is excellent. Your number, at least on the environmental side, is actually spot on. You guys did your homework. You know what you're talking about, and I very much appreciate that. I guess I would just want to speak to the intent of the article and put before you, the voters, this question. When we spend public money, what do we see as the public benefit? That is responsibility of you to decide how you want to spend your money and for what purpose. The purpose that is described is the construction of a drive-in theater, which will provide a new amenity to the residents, will attract people to Clinton, and help support small businesses. Typically, these kinds of operations are run by other private businesses, not municipalities, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be. So as you consider this article, I want you to think about the benefits of cleaning up the site, which, as have been described, are important to the health of the community and health of the residents. Also ask yourselves, with $981,000, would you prefer to see a drive-in on that site, or is a drive-in the public use that you would like to see there? I want to again congratulate the students. I put these hard questions before you, and it is for you to decide. Thank you.
Thank you. Comments? Any more comments?
What do you guys think about that, cleaning up that site? Go ahead, Josh, and then Adam will be after.
Joshua Glebus, 666 Main Street. Personally, I do not like the drive-in movie theater idea because I don't think a lot of people would go to it. Most people just watch movies at their house. Or if it's a new movie, they go to like a really big movie theater for the best quality. Not a lot of people still go to drive-in movie theaters anymore.
Thank you. Get real close.
My name is Adam Montagne, and I really like the idea of cleaning up.
Closer to the mic. Okay.
I like the idea of cleaning up the area next to TC Lando's because it's important that the environment in our town is safe to walk through. But I think the drive-in movie theater is not necessary in this moment in time because it just doesn't feel like it would make that much of a profit compared to selling it to a different business or just someone who needs the land.
So you feel that A, we need to do this to clean up for the health of the town, but B, you don't believe it should necessarily be a drive-in theater?
Yes.
Thank you.
Kaylee Russo, Beacon Street. I think that the proposal for the drive-in theater is a great idea because it's beneficial to all age groups, not just teens or children, but it's beneficial to the adults too because it will bring new it will make people happy being in a drive-in theater, and it will it's kind of like the same thing as a Strand, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're good. He was just
Go ahead.
He was just lowering it. I think you're good.
Oh, okay.
I can go. All right. Jelier Camacho, Franklin Street. Even with the high price of capping the lot, I do support it because it's going to help the health of every single Clinton resident because they don't know the dangers and diseases that will be caused from that site.
I believe our Director of Parks and Recreation would like to say something, and then Tyler, you can go after, okay? So Tyler, I'm just going to let Mackenzie speak first.
Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I think it's a really fun idea. There are some concerns about it being owned by the municipality. Definitely a consideration, and I'm not sure if Parks and Rec would want to run that just because of movie licensing and everything that would come along with that, but I would love to see a drive-in movie theater there. I think that would be really cool. That's all.
Tyler, you want to go ahead and speak?
I feel like if you a driving movie theater is a good idea because it lets people get out of their house and not just stay outside. Not just stay inside because if they go outside, they experience fresh air and all that stuff. Like how Joshua Glebas said, because he would rather stay out inside and stuff. It would people get a new experience. I feel like that's really a good idea.
Thank you. More comments?
Vinny, go ahead.
Way down.
Yeah, there's one in the back.
After this, we'll take a vote.
I think that this would be a really good idea because where they want to put it, it's not people don't know about it as much. And say you want to go hang out somewhere and you're ooh, that's a nice spot. And you could get cancer. It's not a very great place to hang out. And I think cleaning it up and making it somewhere like the drive-in movie theater, we used to have the Strand that is now closed, and it would be a very fun and unique replacement.
Okay, thank you, Vinny.
Thank you.
I think we're gonna have two more go. So there's someone in the back raising their hand. Was there someone? Adam? Okay, Adam and then Liz, and then we will have a vote on this.
All right.
Adam Santoro, 59 Chase Street. I do believe that having a drive-in movie theater would be very nice since, as mentioned before, the nearest one's an hour away. It would give this town something unique compared to others.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Liz, go ahead.
Liz Morataya, Lakeside Ave. I would like to amend Article 5 and get rid of Part B and keep only Part A, which would be the cap the lot.
Okay. So your amendment would be to keep A as is, meaning to clean up that site for 2.3 million, but B, just drop B and hope that a private business or any business could come in there. Maybe your sports complex, not to complex the issue, but anyway.
$7 million.
Thank you. Amendment.
That's a pun.
That's an amendment.
Do we have a second?
Second for the amendment. We have a second.
So, Mr. Ngano, just in the interest of time, the majority of the conversation has been about debating the drive-in part, so why don't we just vote on the amendment and then vote on the entirety of it?
All right. So we're voting now for the amendment. The amendment now says we're just dropping B altogether.
So you're voting to whether or not you want to get rid of the idea of a drive-in, but still go and clean up the site. So, all right, so if you vote yes on this, you are getting rid of Part B. If you vote no, then you're saying we should make a drive-in. All right.
All right. All those in favor of the amendment, which means leave A but drop B altogether, signify by raising
So if you
your
don't
hand.
want the drive-in, raise your card. If you do not want the drive-in.
That's a close one. All right, cards down, and if you, I guess, do want the drive-in, that's not how we usually do it, Mr. Martin. That's okay.
I apologize.
I think we still want the drive-in.
That's a hand count.
Right?
If you're voting no on this, you're voting to keep B, which would be to keep the drive-in.
It looks like they
They're
want to
wavering.
keep the drive-in.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. No, it would appear that the amendment has failed, which means we're still on A and B.
All right, so now we'll do an entire vote on 5, and it's keeping, that was part A and B, so as it is written. So now we'll vote on the entirety of it.
Right, so we're going right through to the original article, Article 5 as written. All right, the amendment failed. So all those in favor of Article 5, which is to clean up the site and a municipally run drive-in there, please signify by raising your card now. This is Article 5 as it's written in your warrant. All right. Cards down, and all those opposed. Well, the article has passed. It has been approved.
Congratulations to my Period 5 class. It passed. Now move on to Article 6.
Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to request the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation to transfer ownership and responsibility of the Philip J. Ween Memorial Swimming Pool to the town of Clinton and to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from available funds the sum of $430,000 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Department of Parks and Recreation for maintenance and upgrading costs of the pool or act in any manner relating thereto.
Second.
All right, Article 6 has been moved and seconded. And this would mean that we, the town of Clinton would take ownership of the now state-owned pool up near the Clinton Middle School. Questions, comments, or discussion? No speakers first.
We have 2 speakers, including, I think, one of your employees, Mackenzie.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
let's go, Rocco.
Kyle Richardson, Forest Street.
11 Bourne Street. What's your name? Oh, my name's Rocco.
Good morning, members of the Clinton Town Government and fellow students. We are here to propose a warrant that would have the town request a DCR to earn ownership of the Philip J. Ween Memorial Swimming Pool to the town. Once the pool ownership is transferred to the Parks and Recreation Department, we are proposing that additional improvements be made. The total cost of these improvements would be $430,000, and these improvements are important because it can drive people and businesses to our community. Many kids in town are unhappy with the current conditions of the pool, which is why not many people go there. Our improvements will attract more people to the pool. Since the town does not own the pool, we currently cannot make changes to it. but if the ownership changes to the town, we can. Currently, the town does not make any money from the pool because the town does not own it. We could charge members to enter, which will increase the revenue for the town and covers the cost the town will have to pay for taking over the pool. One of the major changes we are proposing is increasing the size of the main pool. Currently, the pool is not deep enough for taller individuals to be able to comfortably swim. Another issue is that there are swim lanes that are occasionally reserved, preventing people from using larger portions of the pool. By increasing the size of the pool, it would allow more people to use it. Currently, the bathrooms are also very small and poorly maintained. The changing areas are uncomfortable and do not provide enough privacy. The showering stations are cramped and in desperate need of renovation. We calculated that our warrant should be able to provide larger bathrooms with changing stations and 4 renovated showers. Since the pool will be expanded and improved, it will require improved bathrooms to accommodate the increased number of patrons.
2 other important infrastructure improvements calculated in our cost are to add a concession stand and rentable lockers. The concession stand will sell food,
Get a
beverages.
little closer to the mic. Sorry. Go ahead. A little louder. Thank you.
Should I start over?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
To patrons, and there will be water wings and other pool floaties for rent. Currently, there are cubbies that cannot be locked, leaving personal items at risk for theft. We are proposing that lockers will be added, which can be rented for the day for a fee. This is a practice commonly done at other businesses and water parks. In addition, our costs include adding patio furniture for customers to use. There is a grassy area south of the pool that could be utilized as a playground for younger audiences. This warrant will allow us to add playground equipment to appeal to the younger visitors. Once the structures are added, there is little maintenance needed. We hope that you appreciate our ideas and research into this warrant. Not only will this benefit everyone here, but the entire town and out-of-town visitors as well. Please consider voting in our favor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments, or discussion on Article 6?
Anna, go ahead, and then Dylan, you'll be after, okay? So Dylan, you can go stand behind her for a moment.
Durham Avenue. From all Mr. Moore's lessons, our warrant is the cheapest. And also, I feel like we should renovate that place and make it better, because it's not just a public swimming pool, it's also a memorial place for Philip Wynn. Thank you.
I feel like it's a good idea to update the pool because not a lot of people have used it. The first time I moved here, I used it a couple of times, but now that it's kind of run down, I feel like it is a good idea to renovate it and update it, and that it will be good for the town.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Nancy, would you like to speak up? Would you have an opinion on this? Because it would be your department then running this if it's taken over.
Sure. Well, I commend you because that's a great argument for it, and I agree that there needs to be maintenance to the pool. However, that would be a huge annual expenditure, and I think that it should continue being expended by the state rather than the town. I also don't want the liability of running the pool for Parks and Rec. And if we do, this says that Parks and Rec does the maintenance. I think that that should probably be amended to the Facilities and Grounds Department because we don't maintain any of the facilities. That's Brian Farragher in the Facilities Department. So, those are my thoughts.
Would anyone like to make a comment or make the suggested amendment that was proposed? Go ahead.
Enrique Sanchez, Beacon Street. I would like to table this.
He wants to, all right, so he's making a motion to table this, which would mean that it would be discussed at a later date. Which would theoretically be never because there's only one long-term meeting. So, we need a second. All right.
All right, Article 6. There's been a motion to table Article 6, and it's been duly seconded. That simply means that maybe you want to talk about this, and maybe you'd rather just push it off to some other time. All those in favor of tabling Article 6, meaning we just push it off and
talk about it later.
Talk about it later. Thank you. Cards down. And anybody opposed?
Opposed? Raise your card up. Opposed?
There's a few, but no. The article has been tabled.
Just so we can have a little bit of irony with this, we had plans to spend like 3 weeks doing research on this, then to just have it tabled due to parliamentary procedure.
That's wonderful. We have someone
Please, go ahead. All right, well, let's listen up.
I was just going to make a comment regarding this because you obviously worked hard and I was opposed to the town taking it over, but you made a really good argument. I would suggest to you as a follow-up to this is to go back and draft an email or a letter to DCR and or the state rep Megan Kilcoyne, who was here earlier, and address your issues and ask for repairs to be made to this pool and have all of your signatures on that letter and send it off.
My period 6 class, we can do that. I have Representative Kilcoyne's contact information if you guys want to send along your ideas to see if the state could actually go and do that instead.
That would be a great idea, and it's a state property. And don't forget, it sounds great for the town to take it over, but that means the town takes over all the expenses too. Right now, the state pays that money.
In addition, Mackenzie, I don't know if you guys have ever heard her talk about liability, but that would have to do with lawsuits. So that would mean if someone, for example, got hurt at the pool because there was some sort of, they weren't repairing something, that the Parks and Recreation Department would be sued instead of the state of Massachusetts. So by doing this keeps the Park and Recreation Department a little bit safer in that sense too, from lawsuits. Why don't we move to Article 7 then?
Article 7.
One
of Mr. Braille's classes.
I move to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from any available funds the sum of $13,750 or any other sum, said sum to be expended by the Department of Public Works and Police Department for the creation of environmentally friendly improvements to the town's infrastructure by building sidewalks out of recycled plastic and adding a solar-powered push-button crosswalk on Mechanic Street, or act in any manner relating thereto.
Second.
All right, Article 7 has been moved and seconded. Student speakers, please.
Braille, you can send your students up.
Good morning, my name is Kyle Janowitz, East Street.
And my name is Ryan Fernandez, Water Street.
We, the students of Mr. Braille's second block class, are asking for a very small amount of money to keep children safe. We are requesting that the sidewalk that is in very bad shape on Main Street between Franklin and Pleasant Street be replaced. We have spoken with an American company that provides materials made of 50% recycled plastic. We have figured out total costs, including materials, taxes, shipping, and installation of this pro-environmental American-made material will be less than $14,000. This is a small amount to keep Clinton residents safe. We're also asking for a push-button pro-environmental crosswalk light for a very dangerous crosswalk near Apple Country and the police station on Mechanic Street. I think that making a new sidewalk would be a great idea because it is a priority to keep Clinton residents safe. We have a lot of kids walking home from school and practice, so if we fix the sidewalks, a lot of people will be able to get home safely. It is a good idea to add the lighted crosswalk sign at Mechanic Street because it is very hard to see it and hear the cars drive there. We need to cross safely where Apple Country is. Right now, it is very dangerous to cross and we are putting people's lives on the line. When we talked with the Indiana company, this American company informed us that it will cost $6.99 per foot and we are going to replace 509 feet with environmentally friendly recycled plastic materials. Once this environmentally friendly automatic light is put into place near Apple Country, not only will people be safer, but this will set a positive example and we can maybe purchase more of these to save lives in the future. It surprised us how affordable this automatic light is, even with taxes and delivery costs and installation costs included.
We need the environment great for us, for our future, and for future generations. That is why we want to have sidewalks made from material that was recycled. The children are our future, safety of kids. This issue is more important than money. This is a good idea because other kids can get run over. You can't even see the cars passing by now. Right now, cars cannot see when pedestrians want to cross. It is so dangerous. According to Rosenfield injury lawyers, the average cost for a pedestrian accident settlement is $500,000. Let's be smart and save money by spending a little bit now for the safety of our future. Children should not have to die crossing the street. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Chief Coyne, you want to weigh in on this one? Or Lieutenant Nelson? Our police department's been kind of quiet down there.
Sure. I won't speak directly towards the sidewalk made of recycled plastic. I'll leave that to the DPW. But in terms of the solar power push button crosswalk signs on Mechanic Street, I'm fully in favor of those. I think just a word of caution going forward as you guys get older. Distracted driving is a significant issue in not only the town of Clinton but nationwide. Whether it's being concerned with cell phones or friends in the car or the radio, our primary responsibility when operating a motor vehicle is keeping yourself safe and others. And the push button crosswalk indicators do provide some sort of warning that there are people trying to cross the road, and hopefully it will just direct your attention to that so that you slow and stop and allow for safe passage. So I'm in favor of the push button crosswalk indicators, especially on Mechanic Street. That is a very difficult crosswalk to navigate. Thank you.
Any other questions? Comments?
Want to give anyone who hasn't spoken a chance first. Anyone have any comments? The idea of using plastic to try to recycle it and maybe make some sidewalks out of that? Something about the environment?
They're not into plastic.
Easy credit if you like the planet. Go ahead, Mr. Silva.
I would like to table Article 7.
Let's have some discussion. Let's have some discussion before we go and do that, all right? I'll keep you in mind in a little bit, all right? Thank you.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. I'll probably get to go up in a little bit and try doing it. Go ahead and take a seat. Anyone have any thoughts?
We're going to allow more comments.
More comments before we make motions to
You can't ignore what one of the voters said. He wants to table it, and that's
Vinny,
fine.
go ahead.
But we have a comment coming up right here.
Vincent Neves, High Street. I would like to make an amendment to merge this article with Article 2.
So because Article 2 has been passed, we can't do that. That's a great idea.
Oh, you can't? Oh,
Nope.
my bad.
I appreciate that, though. That was something actually we had talked about doing earlier, and I had said no because we wanted to let Mr. Braille's classes go and do that. But you're right, you could do that, but it had already been passed.
Yes.
So
Yep.
good job thinking about that.
Any other comments? And if not, we need to entertain that motion that was made previously.
Can I have a comment?
Oh, yes, Lisa.
Yes.
Wait a second. Go ahead, Lisa.
Lisa Prophet, DPW. I would say.
Go ahead.
Let him make his comment.
For you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
All right, go ahead, Lisa.
Abdiel Fix Road. I think it's a good idea to have recycled sidewalks because it's good for the environment.
Thank you. All right, Lisa.
I was just going to say, DPW, I would suggest that you don't table this. I'm not sure about the recycled sidewalks. However, if your class wanted to contact the DPW regarding installation of a solar-powered crosswalk, that is something that we could probably get done. If you want to email the department or call, that's something that we could do and probably get it done relatively quickly. There is one of these on the corner of Nitro High Street at Union already. So it is doable if somebody wanted to make the request. So I suggest you don't table it and actually just pass it.
So I just want to make sure everyone realizes this is a really cool opportunity. I think we often feel like adults maybe don't take enough time to listen to kids and their ideas, right? And we have someone from the DPW who just said they think this is a really good idea, and if you contact them in an email, that maybe they could actually make this really happen. So I just wanted to let you see, your voices are heard. And she's saying, don't table it. Actually pass this one.
Can I make a comment?
But Matthew, don't worry, we'll entertain your idea.
Yeah, we have another comment.
Yeah, I just want to commend you all for bringing sustainability into a lot of these warrant articles. I think it's an important issue now, and it will continue to be an important issue, and I think we need to think really creatively on how we not only maintain our town, but how can we be efficient with our solar energy and things like that. So I just wanted to say how much I appreciated your thoughtfulness in these articles.
All right, so one thing we can't do is ignore someone's motion and a second. So we do have to deal with the matter at hand, which is tabling this article. You've heard some good reasons why we should not table this. There's a chance that this could actually get done. So we still have to vote. So the motion originally was to table this. There was a second on it. So if you do vote to table it, it means the article goes away and so doesn't the project. If you vote not to table it, then we bring it forward and we vote for the actual article. So step one is to table this article and basically throw it out the window. So all those in favor of tabling Article 7, signify by raising your card now. Cards down, and opposed. No, the article is tabled.
So for the sake of this activity,
Mr. Moderator, I vote to reconsider.
All right, there's a motion now to reconsider. Second?
Second.
All right, motion to reconsider. Now, this gets a little confusing. It's confusing for adults, never mind 8th graders, but here we go. To reconsider an article means that if you vote to reconsider, it means we reopen this thing back up and we start talking about it again and keep discussing it. Almost like if we reconsider it, that last vote you just took is gone and we try it again. If you vote not to reconsider, then that means it's over, it's done with, and the last vote is the way it is, all right? So think about it, it's kind of the reverse than it usually is. So right now I'm going to ask you to raise your cards if you want to reconsider this, meaning we want to reopen it back up and re-talk about it. All those who want to reconsider this article, cards up please now.
You want to vote yes?
All right.
DPW is really thinking about actually doing this if you pass this.
Oh.
They should get one opposed from. Oh, yeah.
Before we vote, there's, Chairman Kobus wants to say a few words about the reconsideration process.
I would like to hear more information on the rationale for why we should table this article, rather than just asking to table it for the sake of tabling.
I mean, let's be honest, we have 9 articles, I suppose. I don't want to give you any bad ideas, but you could vote to table all 9 of them and go back to school in about 5 minutes, all right? I mean, but you are here for purposes of doing something and making some changes.
I can also just use my dictatorial power and veto everything.
Yes, we can never forget that either. Yes, sir.
So first off, I think that since Article 2 is already fixing the sidewalks around here, I don't think Article 7 is really necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And also, plastic sidewalks, that just sounds kind of strange. Yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, that's your reason for table. Now again, you can argue for why we shouldn't be tabling this.
Within the next like 3 minutes or so, we'll have to have a vote on this because we still have then 2 other articles to go over.
Yep.
Kaylee Rousseau, Beacon Street. I think that it's a terrible idea to table Article 7 because recycled sidewalks are great for the environment, and we're struggling a lot with climate change, and the solar-powered push-button crosswalks are a really great idea for 3-ways and 4-ways like crosswalks, because sometimes teens don't know when to cross because there's cars drive recklessly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't we have the vote on the reconsideration then?
All right. So, this is the vote on reconsideration. So one more time. If you are in favor, and that's how I'll put it, if you are in favor of reconsideration, we're going to go back and nullify the last vote you took. If you are against reconsideration, I hope I get that right. If you are against reconsideration, the vote stands as is. The last vote you take, and it can't be brought up again either. All right? So all those in favor of reconsidering what you just did, signify by raising your card now.
I believe that's a majority.
I think it might be. All those opposed to reconsideration. No, I think you're in favor. I think reconsideration has passed.
Mr. Ghani, let's get this to a final vote then, so we can go on the next one.
I agree. All right.
Parliamentary procedure.
So now we're on to Article 7, the way it's printed in your warrant. No amendments, no nothing else. We're right back at it again. All those in favor of Article 7 signify by raising your card now, please. All those in favor of Article 7.
This article.
Are you in favor of it?
Mr. Moderator,
yes.
If you just remind them they can vote once on each article.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, keep in mind, you cannot vote yes and no.
You don't allow that here in Clinton. All right, one more time. Thank you, Chief.
One more time.
All those in favor of Article 7 as written in your warrant, raise your
yes,
hands high. High, way high.
Now put them down.
All right, thank you. Now all those opposed to Article 7. It's close, but I think the article has passed. I believe so.
Congratulations, Mr. All right, we'll go on to Article 8 now. We have
Article 8, read
To
fast.
save us some time, Mr. Agano, by the powers invested in me as a teacher at Clinton Middle School, I ban the motion of tabling.
Oh, okay, here you go.
One more table. Oh, it's been seconded. We're good.
Article 8, Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to have the Department of Public Works create an exploratory committee which will investigate the benefits and feasibility of applying for state and federal grants under the American Rescue Plan Act to purchase and renovate the train station located at 619 Main Street and connect it to the MBTA Leominster line or act in any manner relating thereto.
Second.
All right, Article 8 has been moved and seconded, which would really be to completely renovate our railroad station and then connect the line to the MBTA Leominster line.
Keep in mind that this is just to create a committee to explore doing that. We're not actually voting on making sure that would happen. It's just to go and basically have a group of people do research and see if this would be possible. We have two speakers from Mr. Braille's class.
Where are they?
Good morning. Our names are Ryan Fernandez and Harrison Silva. Our group, 6 Block the Bahamas of Mr. Braille's Social Studies class, wants to improve the town of Clinton in a major way by bringing a train station back to Clinton.
Can you get, thanks. Go ahead.
We are interested in renovating the building at Depot Square. We are working on getting a small slice of the billions of dollars available in Massachusetts ARPA funds and national funds. We are dedicated to providing transportation to all. We are discriminated against because we can't yet drive, but we can take the train for work. This train should be handicap accessible, of course. We want these railroads because it helps us travel faster and safer. Trains are the safest form of transportation. Car crashes kill 10,000 people per year in the USA. Train travel helps those who cannot afford an automobile to travel. The average car payment is over $500 per month. The average monthly payment for car insurance is over $100 per month. With the MBTA for less than that. You're gonna have unlimited travel. The train station would also help bring people to Clinton because of its attractiveness. There are many pros of having a train station in our town. We want to save the environment. Trains cost less pollution than cars. Trains bring job opportunities. People who are too young to have a driver's license can work at the train station. Trains can bring greater numbers of people and improve the popularity of Clinton in the state.
You can practically get your money back from the train station by people buying the tickets. We can connect to one of the other town railroad lines to save cash and resources. The train station will allow people from Boston to come here. Having a transportation option that's not a car can save much money for people in Clinton. Having a train station can save people money so they don't spend it on their cars. Almost all cars go down in value. The average person spends $849 on their car every single month, while half of the price can be used for unlimited train rides. It can be connected to the Fitchburg line, so there are many opportunities for work, not only in Boston, but also in the towns like Leominster and Fitchburg. There are endless possibilities to this idea in adding a train station. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to research the national state grants in order to renovate a train station in Clinton and to renovate the MBT train lines into Clinton, as this will greatly help the people of Clinton. Thank you.
What do you guys think about going and making it so that there are trains that come through Clinton so that you can get on a train and like go to Boston? What is an opinion on that? Go ahead, Noel. Haley, you can go up next, okay? Actually, Haley, why don't you just go stand? Just go away from it.
I agree with, pause. Noel Arsenal Beach Street, I agree with this because Clinton needs more transportation options for teens to get around. Thank you.
I think this is a great idea for transportation and for people to get around without having a car, because I know a lot of areas that have a train and it's easier for people to get around. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Molly Schoolcraft, Beacon Street. I think this is a good idea, but I do have one concern because on that street there already is a lot of traffic, and the train going through there might add more traffic.
Thank you. Any more comments?
I have a comment.
Yes.
I would vote in favor of this article to form an exploratory committee. As a resident of Clinton, I spent many years commuting into Boston on this MBTA commuter rail line. It's very tricky for Clinton residents to find parking. Oftentimes I would have to take the Littleton, South Acton, West Concord, or park at those stations. The parking can be tricky, so I think it would be an added benefit to connect those lines for Clinton residents, so I would be in favor of this article.
My name is Aloha D'Souza, and I agree about having trains because my parents work at MIT, so that's like an hour drive every single day back and to. So it would be very beneficial for them because they always be taking 2 cars, and it's a very costly and pricey. Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with the train idea because, like, not only it's also a different way of doing like transportation, it also is better for the environment because according to some studies, trains are actually emit less carbon dioxide than cars, and there's also not all that traffic. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I can't believe that you came up with an article that at the moment won't cost the town of Clinton a dime. Right?
This is just to create a group to examine and do research to see if this should be done or not.
Yes.
My name is David. I live on Palmer Court, and I think this is a good opportunity for families because they could travel a lot safer and faster, and it'll bring a lot of revenue to Clinton.
Thank you. Yes, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa Prophet, DPW. This is a fantastic article. Thank you for bringing it forward. I would ask you to amend this in two ways. One, I would kick this back to the Board of Selectmen and the Community Economic Development to create the exploratory committee, just because there's a lot of parts and pieces here that the DPW doesn't have the resources to be the front lead on this. And secondly, I think that the address is wrong. The address for the old train station at Depot Square is 626 Main Street and 626A Main Street. 617 and 619 is actually across the street from Domino's, the old La Casa Mia building. So I think this is a typo, but you should correct it so that we are exploring the correct property. So if it's Depot Square, it's 626 Main and 626A Main Street.
Does anyone want to amend
Easy
that?
way to get credit right now. That'll help you say the amendment.
And that would be to get rid of the line Department of Public Works, since it seems to be more of in line with some other departments, and also change the address, or we would be forced to do all of our work for 617 and 619 Main Street. We have to get the right address, correct?
Easy way to get some credit right now. It'll help you say the amendment.
You might have a 59 average. Who knows? This could be it. This could be it.
All right. Go ahead.
Is somebody going to take this?
Don't table it.
Wait, so how do I say it? What do you want me to do?
All right. Can I help you out?
I want to amend.
I want to amend.
That's good. This is like I feel like a priest. Article 8.
Article 8.
To delete Department of Public Works.
To delete Department of Public Works.
And to add the Department of Community and Economic Development.
And to add the Department of Community and Economic Development, please.
And the Select Board.
And the Select Board.
To explore 626A and 626 Main Street.
To explore 626A and 626 what?
Main Street.
Main Street.
That's a great job, and he deserves extra credit.
Do we have a second?
Second. All right.
All right. So, in the interest of time, we'll take a vote on making those changes. It's just to change which department will do the research and we'll actually put down the correct address of the old train station.
And it's a great idea.
We'll vote on that.
And again, the committee to explore doesn't cost us anything. It gets us started. It's beautiful. Article 8. All those in favor of Article 8 with those changes signify by raising your card now, please.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Cards down, and all those opposed.
Opposed to the train station.
All right, Article 8 has been approved.
Congratulations, Mr. Carroll's class. All right, we have our last article, Article 9.
Mr. Moderator, I move to see if the town will vote to apply to the state of Massachusetts for downtown recovery grants to be expended by the Department of Community and Economic Development to purchase the Strand Movie Theater, renovate it, and sell it, or act in any manner relating thereto.
Second.
All right, Article 9 deals with the Strand Theater. It's been moved and seconded, so student speakers, please.
They're coming up.
Here they come, Article 9.
Hello, my name is John Windsor, and I go to...
And Sophia Bebo.
And I go to Clinton Middle School. And we want the Strand back because it was taken from us with the outbreak of COVID. The Strand was one of the best businesses on High Street, and it is closed. People in Clinton don't have very many places teens and adults can go to get entertained. People in Clinton spent around $4.5 million on High Street, and the best entertainment business is shut down for more than a year now. We would like to use resources with ARPA funds of $650,000 to bring the Strand back in Clinton. To bring the Strand in Clinton back to life. There are billions of dollars available in the ARPA funds for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. As many of you already know, ARPA stands for the American Rescue Plan Act. We will have to use a little money, but not that much. This would be a pro to the success of Clinton because the Strand is coming up on its 100th year anniversary. And it would be very beneficial because of how eye-grabbing the Strand is and how much history it has. The people in Clinton have a lot of memories in the Strand, and even the people in my class have memories of the Strand.
The inside has a lot of very nice architecture. This has many pros because this would also open up a lot of job opportunities for teens in Clinton, because there aren't very many. Why should the people of Clinton have to drive like 30 minutes to just get to a movie when they want to see their kids or family? If the town of Clinton bought this building and got it back up and running, and with the right advertisement strategies, this could be very successful for this town money-wise. This Strand would also be available for birthday parties, so this would also make money. Even the bathrooms are nice because there is black marble for the floors, and there's many pictures on the walls. There were also 4.5 stars on Yelp when it was open, and there were 59 reviews on Yelp, and most of them were 5 stars, so this would make money. There are 4.7 stars on Google Maps, and there are 330 reviews on the maps as well. So what do you say? Should this town bring back this Strand for good? Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion on Article 9.
What do you guys, anyone have a comment thinking about the idea of the town buying the Strand, fixing it up, and then basically reselling it? Go ahead, Vinny.
Although I originally thought this was a good idea, we did we already pass the one with the drive-in movie theater?
I believe we did pass the drive-in theater.
Yes. I think it's not the best idea, seeing as how we already passed that amendment. I mean, not amendment. The
warrant. Yep.
Yeah, warrant.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I don't know. I feel like already having something and then adding another movie theater wouldn't be the best idea. So I would like to propose an amendment, and instead of opening the Strand back up, we buy the wherever it is and turn it into something else.
Interesting. Okay, so you would basically. All right. Well, in theory, the way it's phrased, you could do that, right? Because it just says to renovate.
Yes.
So it could be, yeah, so the way it's phrased theoretically doesn't have to be remade into a movie theater, because it just says to renovate it. It doesn't say, like, to keep it a movie theater, so it could be turned into something else, like you're suggesting. So that's an interesting way of looking at it. Anyone else have an idea if we should keep the Strand the same, if we should be purchased and turn it into something else? Go ahead, Liz.
I would like to amend Article 9, and instead of selling the Strand, keep the renovation,
but just not sell it because it is a historic site to the town of Clinton, and I just feel like selling it to somebody else would defeat the purpose of renovating it.
Thank you. All right, so is there a second on that amendment?
We have a second?
Yes, we do. Okay. So now we're talking about Article 9, where you're really only deleting the words "and sell it" on the next to the last line. So you're saying that we use ARPA funds to fix up the Strand, renovate it, and I assume run it.
Keep it. It could make it into some other sort of building.
Yes.
Use it for something
It could be
else
used for
that would
anything, but it would be
owned by the
town run. We'd own it.
Does anyone have a comment on that? The idea of the town buying the Strand, owning it, not selling it, and doing something with that building?
We're really addressing the amendment now. Any thoughts?
I think this would be a very good investment for the community of Clinton, and it would open up more room to get more money, and yeah.
Anyone else have any thoughts about purchasing the Strand, having the town keep it? Go ahead, Ella. After this, we'll have our vote on it, Mr. Ngano.
On the amendment, right?
I like the idea of keeping the Strand as it is, but renovating it and keeping as a Strand a movie theater because it has become tradition for the people of Clinton to go watch movies there, and I feel like this space should keep as tradition. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're voting on the amendment, or just go to...
We can vote. We'll vote on the amendment first to see if they want to go and have the town keep it or not.
All
so
right.
if you vote yes, you're saying that you want to take out the sell part. You're saying we're going to buy the Strand and make the town keep it.
All right, so we're discussing the amendment. We're about to vote on the amendment only. And that is, as Mr. Murray just said, all we're doing is amending Article 9 by cutting out "and selling it." We're going to keep it as our own. And it could be any other business, but we would own it. We would not sell it. So all those in favor of doing that, that's the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment.
Not sell it.
Cards up, please. And cards down, thank you. And opposed?
You're opposed to it.
No, so okay, the amendment has passed.
All right, so you take it, so it's Article 9 is the same, except you took the part sell out. So now we'll vote on the actual article. Or, oh, sorry, Mr. Duffy.
Members of the board, members of town meeting, I support the idea of the renovation of the Strand, revitalization of the Strand, but I move to amend this article. I amend the article to read, the town shall use $2 million of municipal funds to buy and renovate the Strand.
All right, so that amendment is $2 million. $2 million. All right.
I say this for this reason. The first speaker, who did an excellent job, mentioned a price of $650,000. That won't be enough to buy and renovate the Strand. The cost will be more on the order of $2 million. And I move that we take these from town funds because the state has already made a determination, broad outline of what they're going to do with their American Recovery Act money, the American Recovery, the ARPA money. And it isn't this. So that if we want to make this happen, you, the voters, have to reach into your pockets to make it happen. Earlier in this meeting, this body voted $3.2 million to create a very similar facility on the other side of town. I think the Strand is a priceless treasure for our community, but if we want to make this happen, the voters of the town will have to reach in their own pockets and do it. Thank you.
Okay, so just for the interest of time, so we're asking for $2 million, I believe, of the town's money?
The town's money to renovate the Strand.
Right, so it's going to cost $2 million. That's is what we're being told. So we'll vote on it now. We'll
so
leave
we're
it.
voting on the amendment, right?
Why don't we just vote on the whole thing at this point.
All right. We'll call that a clarification, that what we're doing now is voting for again, to renovate the Strand or whatever, but knowing that we can't take these other funds from the government from that. It's going to be our own money, our town money, okay? So all those in favor of Article 9, no matter who funds it, please raise your cards now, please. All right, and cards down, thank you. And those opposed to that, thank you. The article is passed and approved.
All right, so at this point, because I know again you guys love yelling, yay and nay. Mr. Ngano, I make a motion to adjourn the 2023 mock town meeting. Do I have a second? All those in favor? All those opposed? If you say nay if you want to stay here and talk for another hour. What do you think, Mr. Ngano?
I think this meeting is over, and congratulations. Great job.
School, okay? So the paper that you have with you, you can hold on to that. That'll be helpful when you go to do the reflection assignment later this afternoon. The pink slips you can throw out on your way out. We are going to go, we'll do it just like how we did before. We'll be going by class on our way back, and then we will, let's see, go first.
11:30.